Yeah, and I was impressed with Harry. He the big change from for me with Harry is he used to make a couple of mistakes within a game when you kind of look at it and go, that looked pretty easy. Or, maybe he'd stop concentrating on a high ball, or it'd be a poor pass, or he'd kick one out on the full. And it was nearly like when I was, because he's such a talented guy, right? But when I'd be looking at him, I'd nearly be thinking, and I'd see a bit of myself in him, maybe he just wasn't giving these kind of mundane tasks the respect that they deserved. And this year, he's largely cut out these mistakes, and he's playing the system really well. And what I was impressed about him at the weekend was his execution, whether it was his passing, if he was deciding to kick, he was finding grass. If he was deciding to go aerial, he was giving his chasing players an opportunity to get up and compete. And then look, the nuts and bolts of rugby union. He's a good tackler. He's a big guy. Like I think he's about 6'2". He gets his body in front really well. And then the final point is his goal kicking. He's a top quality goal kicker. When he's standing over his kicks, I've total confidence of his ball flight and where it's going to end up. And I think he's trending at north of 85% for the year. Um, but it's the process that he goes through. I really, really like how he goal kicks. And yeah, like he doesn't quite have the X factor passing under pressure that the likes of Prendergast will have. But the more he plays, the sharper his instincts will get, and he'll continue to improve.
He had a beautiful kick from that free kick off. I think I was off a scrum and he floated it in, the 22, and I think Leinster got a 3-pointer in the kind of phases after that. So like for you, who is the Leinster starting out half at the moment?
It'll be very interesting. Like, I'm not too sure how they will go this week with Connacht. I'd imagine they'll rotate with two European games coming up, where they'll be targeting as many points as possible with how the seedings work in the Champions Cup. So I'd imagine Prendergast will start this week, like, having been rested this week, and I think he'll need a really big performance to get back in. I think Harry has been consistently good, and has earned the shirt and has earned the right to hold on to it.
It's interesting because, like, I saw a few people say, "Oh, look, see, Leo Cullen said Prendergast was rested from Munster. That's why he was. That's the only reason he wasn't playing." But like, Leo Cullen could have rested Sam Prendergast for Ulster and started him against Munster if he wanted to. Like Harry Byrne started against Leicester in what was up to that point the biggest game of the season, and Leo Cullen decided to rest Sam Prendergast. He had to pick one game and decided to do it for the biggest game of the Interpros over Christmas. So for me, that gives me an inkling into his thinking that they're leaning towards Harry.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Like, if I was competing for that 10 shirt, and those four games listed in front of you, you could only pick two. You're going, well, the Leicester away game is going to have a higher value on it than Quinn's at home, and as is Munster over the Ulster game. Despite both games being away. It also probably gives you an insight into what matters for away games: defense. And Harry's a stronger defender than Sam is at the moment.